Questions?
Pretty hard-fought game, but you're able to pull it out.
Yeah, they're all going to be a grind for us until we can get into some kind of rhythm offensively, and we've really struggled with that, save for possibly the Towson game. And Towson played us 40 minutes of man. We've been playing a lot of teams with this matchup zone, which is something that you don't see a lot. It's very similar to when we play the 1-3-1. It's just not something you see a lot. So they play a 1-3-1 matchup, and they play a 2-3 matchup, and then they throw a little pressure in there. So it's not something that we're overly comfortable against, and as a result, our rhythm has really been poor. The one guy that I thought has really played good the last two games, I started him today because I think he's probably our best ball mover and a guy that can make plays for other people is Tomas. And then he fouls out in 24 minutes, and he was really the one that was giving us great offensive lift, finding those holes in that zone, trying to take some pressure off Moody. So it was unfortunate that he fouled out. But overall, it's a good team win. Georgia State's a team that's going to compete for the top of their division.
I know, point-wise didn't do a ton, but there late it was real close. I mean, well in doubt, Rasheed gets the block on one end and goes down and scores on the other end. It's that sequence.
Yeah, huge for him to be able to dribble through some contact and make a play. I thought we kept some balls alive. We doubled them up on the glass, 39-20 in the rebounding margin. And that allowed us to offset the fact that we had a season-high 15 turnovers, which is uncharacteristic of us. And of those turnovers, we had steals. They had a few steals, which led directly to layups, which, again, kept game pressure on us all night. Then they got a couple of, high-level guys. Jeremy Hollowell, number one's an IU transfer, top 50 player. Kevin Ware, you guys remember him from Louisville when he had the injury. He's a high-level guy. So they're a talented team.
The turnovers, do you credit that some to the matchup zone or something like this sloppiness?
Sloppiness, passivity, I think. I just think we look passive. We're not attacking enough. Maybe it's because, again, we revamped after we lost to George Mason, and I moved Moody primarily to the one. He's never done it in his life. So there's going to be a little bit of a growth process. JT Escobar's had some back spasms that just hit him yesterday, so he was unable to play. I tried to play him, and he couldn't bend. Ball hits him in the hand, so I couldn't put him back. Sam's struggling a little bit with his confidence because he just is not playing that well. Anthony goes out with a cut on his head. So now a small, and then Tomas fouls out. So we really had to find some guys that were probably playing a little bit out of position.
Do you foresee Moody staying at the point for the time?
I think so. There's going to be times that we'll be able to move him off the ball. But right now we're committed to him running our team. And I think, honestly, he's done it 3 games, and 2 of the 3, I think he's done it well.
So what's going on with Sebastian?
You know what? I think he made some hard rebounds. He finishes with 8 rebounds, and I think probably got 4 or 5 of those at the end. He's really the guy right now from a physical standpoint that has to go in there and get hard rebounds for us. And he's just not finishing, man. It's just when he should go right, he goes left. When he should go left, he goes right. When he should shoot it, he passes it. When he's just all over the place. And I don't know what it is. He had 24 and 17 against Georgia Southern, and then we go to Charleston, and he had 23 and 17 in 3 games. And I've explained to him, son, you're a junior now. You're a guy that we need to get all-league votes. I'm not saying you have to be an all-league player, but you have to be a guy that when Daniel puts that sheet in at the end of the year, your name's on it to be considered for an all-league player, or this team is going to struggle. He understands that, and my hope is that he can evolve into that type player.
Is he pressing a little bit right now?
I don't know what it is. Sebas is one of my favorite kids who I've ever had here. He's got a great spirit, man. He takes care of his business. His focus sometimes wanes. We just got to get his focus back on rebounding the ball, finishing strong. And sometimes guys want to diversify their games. You've seen him shooting threes, and he wants to kind of float. Well, that's fine, but you've still got to do what you do, and that's finish things in the paint.
What's allowed Giello to kind of get at least the buckets up there?
Making shots. Nothing's really changed. When we recruited him, we thought he's so much different than MJ. MJ was more of an athletic finisher at the rim, could stretch you to about 15, a really good perimeter defender. I think Tomas can be as well, if we can get him to bend. I don't know how to say that in Polish, but I'm going to find out in the next 48 hours. But he's rebounding, but he can really shoot it. And the reality is he hadn't shot it well until the last 2 games. Confidence is a funny thing. Anthony Perez, I think, is a guy that we've all seen make big shots. Without him last year, I remember hitting a big one in this building in a 1-point win against Florida, and hitting a big one against South Carolina 2 years ago to win, hitting a big one against Mississippi State as we turned the momentum for an NCAA tournament team last year. And he's 1 for 12 on the year coming into tonight. He made one, and then he goes down with kind of a flukish injury. So, you know, everybody's kind of trying to find themselves early in the year. You see the scores. I watch the scores like you do, and you see crazy things happen because in college basketball, there's very, very little separation. There's very little separation between Georgia and Georgia State. There's very little separation between Alabama, Birmingham, and Alabama. UNC Asheville and UNC. That's the truth. So you've got to be prepared each and every night, and especially in the culture of transfers that we're dealing in. You know, they have 6 guys returning from a team that won a game in the NCAA tournament, and then they got 3 high-level transfers. And we've got to be ready each and every day to play and evolve into who I believe we can become.
Do you like that lineup, though? I mean, you have length, and it looked like an offensive flow standpoint.
Yeah, we did it because we just got crushed on the glass. You know, George Mason crushed us. Every other game we either won it or been competitive, but they crushed us on the glass, so we really did it to get the ball in our best player's hands, Moody, and we did it to try to give ourselves the best chance possible on the front line. We played our best game of the year, and then we came back, and even though we lose by 12 to Seton Hall after watching the tape, we could have won the game by 12. You know, it's a 2-possession game with about 8 to play. They made plays. We did not, whether it be big offensive rebound putbacks, Isaiah Whitehead, their best guy, knocking down open ones, us missing open ones, a couple of turnovers a game gets away from you. But it wasn't for lack of effort, and I thought schematically we're starting to come together.
Why has it been such a struggle for Sam early on?
You know what, I think he's like all guys. You know, honestly, I can't speak to exactly what he's thinking in his head because if I knew the magic word, I would have said it by now. But him and Rasheed both. You have these hoop dreams of okay, coming to the SEC, and this is my dream, and I'm going to just flow right into this, and I'm going to be all league, and then I'm going to be shaking the commissioner hand in the NBA here in about 6 months. I just got to get through this. You know, that's everybody's mentality from my team, Georgia State, whoever's next, Bradley. And when they see it ain't quite like that, you kind of get a little shell-shocked. We're playing teams that defensively have tried to confuse us, and it's worked. And as a result, he's not doing the things instinctively that got him into an SEC locker room. My hope is that will come. My hope is that he can have a Tomas-like game, finish some shots. Moody did a great job of getting him a penetrating pitch, big shot, and I think he hit the top of the backboard with it. And he'll do that from time to time, but my hope is that those become less frequent.
Anything else? With Perez, you mentioned the cut on the back of the head. Is there still a concern for concussion?
Yeah, we'll go through the whole concussion protocol. Right now, I mean, he had a gash, and he looked kind of dazed and confused, and so they fixed the gash, and now we'll go through the whole protocol. I just had a conversation with him, and I haven't been able to understand him in 4 years, so nothing has changed.